And finally, let's just talk about spec maps. So, quite frankly, in more recent um, projects, personal projects, I actually haven't even included a spec map for the sclera, iris, and uh, pupil because I wanted because basically all that reflection is actually coming from the cornea. So to do a spec map uh, for this piece of geometry for the eyes here really doesn't make much sense because the cornea is what's overlaid on top of this, which is what's giving the reflection of the environment around. So I haven't uh, incorporated spec maps, at least in this project. However, there are times where I actually want to get a little bit more um, pop to the irises. And what I end up doing is I'll do a colored spec map. So I'll essentially grab my original, and let's start with one of these eyes. I'm going to keep this, keep that. I'm going to merge these, desaturate that. Actually, in fact, what I end up doing is making this completely black. Actually, let's do it down here at the bottom for the base, and then I'll hide all that. So we have just that iris. And I'll do the same thing for these guys here. I'll just hide it. And then for this iris, I'll just paint it back. Now it doesn't have to be super precise because I just want to get a sense of it. Like so. And with my levels, parent that to the iris and just start playing with the levels. Something like that. So I'm getting just that coloration in the iris, and that's going to pop really nicely with the color. So this is one technique that I use in order to get a little bit more pop. A little bit more bang for my buck. Like so. There you go. So these are essentially what the spec maps, these are what my spec maps will look like when I do my personal projects. Is I'll supply a spec map that looks like this. So in the pupil it's completely black, and actually let's plug this in now in the Mari and see what we can get. Let's just do a new channel. Let's do a quick channel. And then for this, I'm going to import into this layer. Speck. And then my shader, I'm going to do speck color. I guess it's a bit difficult to tell. But I think you guys get the idea. So what's going to happen is you're going to get a little bit more glow in those eyes. So if I were to hide those guys, you'll get something looking like that. And that's kind of what I want. So when it renders, you can get this really nice bright iris. It's going to look almost like he can see in the dark, a little bit more alien, a little bit more mythological, and a little bit cooler. So it's kind of the approach I take. And that wraps up painting the maps for the eyes. So, like I said before, I'm going to supply a whole directory of eyes for you guys to choose from, and feel free to go to Google and find eyes for yourselves. But I want you guys to go through and paint your eyes using these techniques, and hopefully we can get some cool stuff. So happy painting, and post to the forum, and if you have any questions, just let me know and I'll try to get them answered. And during the webinar we can go over some other pressing questions if you need more extra demos. So good luck.